Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into the show. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we got a mailbag. My favorite video I do every single week here on the channel, which is me and you chopping it up about the Minnesota Vikings and Grease the Lightning coming in with the first question, saying, what is a shocking move the Vikings can make before the season? Shocking move. Good question here. So thinking outside the box, I'm not going to say like sign Asante Samuel, sign Rasul Douglas. I don't even want to say what just popped in my head because people are going to get pissed. I was going to say they trade Jordan Addison. I don't think it's going to happen at all, but that would be a shocking move. How about trade for Jalen Ramsey? A positive. Yeah, that would be that's what I'll go for. Trading for Jalen Ramsey would be a shocking move. I don't think the Vikes will do it, but maybe they want to shore up that cornerback position a little more. Toss a 4th or 5th round pick. Go get Jalen Ramsey. A lot of baggage around him right now. Apparently showing up late to team meetings, showing up late to practices, but I think if you get him in the Vikings culture, get him invested, he could be a lot more, locked in. So let's say a shocking move they make is like either trade in Addison or they go trade for like a Jalen Ramsey, something along those lines. Alrighty, next question coming in here from Corey Miller. What's going on, Brody? Saying, been 2 weeks since last live. Pat Seeps, shout out to you. Skull, how have you been keeping? Any worries this season? I've been keeping good, Corey. Thanks for tuning in. Any worries about the season? Not really. I think the Vikes are going to be set up for success. I think their floor is extremely high. But if I had to kind of play like doomsday scenarios here, like obviously J.J. McCarthy looking like a complete bust, that would be an awful situation. Or, mainly just the schedule coming out of the bye because you go Philly and you go like to Detroit, and it's like you're back home against the Ravens, and then I think it's like you're in Seattle, then it's like you got Washington. It's a brutal stretch. So I think just a combination of like, maybe McCarthy doesn't get rolling right away. Vikes start like 2-3, and then it's like you're coming out of the bye and you got like a gauntlet of a schedule. Those would be some concerns I had, but I think this team's loaded. I think they have one of the best rosters in the league. I think J.J. McCarthy is going to be a stud. So, I fall asleep at night, with a free mind, knowing where the Vikings are at. But Z Cool coming in with the next question. #Vikings. I'm glad we don't speak of Aaron anymore. Will he sign with Pittsburgh or Saints or retire? Yeah, thank God we don't need to talk of Aaron Rodgers anymore. Also, Diana Rossini. Side note, Z-Cool, and then I'll get to your question. My bad. I just need to say this. Diana Rossini has had one of the worst off seasons I've ever seen for a reporter in possibly NFL history. Like even today, when we're filming this on Wednesday, she was saying the tush push was for sure going to get banned. That did not happen. She said Roger Goodell is going to get a massive extension. That did not happen. She said Aaron Rodgers is going to the Minnesota Vikings. That did not happen. So she did not have a good offseason. But what will happen with Raj? I think he's going to go to the Steelers or retire. I don't think he's got any interest in the Saints. But my bold prediction for the year, Mike Tomlin's never had a season below 500. Aaron Rodgers will grant him his first season below 500. That would be my hot take. But Z-Cool, I appreciate you, man. Shout out to you. Alrighty, Joey saying top 5 groups of offensive linemen this year. Also, Wolves in 7. Who do you got? Knicks, Pacers. Give me the Knicks in, I want to say Knicks in 6, just because that's what's been going on the last 2 series. But I'm going to go Knicks in 7 over the Pacers. I think the deciding factor is going to be Jalen Brunson's the best player on the court. But talking about the top 5 offensive lines in the league, Detroit still up there. Detroit and Philly, probably 1-2 in my eyes. Number 3, Chargers are up there. They had a good offseason getting Becton and, Joe Alt a year older, Rashawn Slater a year older, so they're up there. Green Bay's always had a good offensive line. I think the Vikings do crack that top 5, though. I just think they're probably in that 5 spot. 4, I'm going to throw a shocker out there, or maybe not a shocker. I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to get back to having one of the most dominant offensive lines in the league. 3 first-round picks, all named Tyler. I think they're going to have a good year. Even like the Jets, I know they have a very good offensive line, but I think the Vikings definitely crack that top 5. I'm trying to think if there's any team I'm just completely sleeping on right now. Bills had a good offensive line last year, but yeah, I still think the top 2 dogs in the league are the Eagles and the Lions in terms of best offensive line. Rocky, coming in. What's going on? Do you expect a bigger year from Hawk? I would hope he has a bigger year. Didn't have a touchdown until garbage time of the Rams game. I think him coming off that torn ACL definitely slowed his game down a little bit because he had a lot of 50-50 catch opportunities last year, especially in that Lions game, Week 18, where I understand Darnold was absolutely terrible, but also Hawk didn't do him any favors. So he should have a bigger year, but if he doesn't, he probably gets cut. This time next offseason, if Hawk doesn't bounce back, and it's not like, okay, TJ Hockenson's still an undisputed top 7 tight end in the league, he'll probably get cut from the Vikes, but if he has a good year, they're probably going to keep him around. J.J. McCarthy had a great connection with Colston Loveland in college. He loves the tight end position. Hawk was actually comparing McCarthy to Stafford, so they already have that kind of connection there. So 100%, whatever Hawk's numbers were last season, I expect them to be a whole lot better this next year. But speaking of X factors like TJ Hockenson, you guys let me know. Who is the biggest X factor on the Vikings next season? J.J. McCarthy's the obvious answer. But besides him, I'm going to go Kevin O'Connell. I think KOC. Huge X factor for the Vikes next season. But you guys let me know who's the biggest X factor on the Vikes next season. We'll dive into more of your questions here in a second, but first, I got to give a massive shout-out to today's sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. Now, if you guys download the Prize Picks app today and plug in promo code CLNS, you guys will get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Now, cash in on the basketball playoffs with Prize Picks. Don't miss your last chance to add your favorite players from the court to your Prize Picks lineup, whether it's points, rebounds, assists. Take your pick of more or less for your shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash today. Now, if you guys don't know what Prize Picks is, it's the best place to turn your sports knowledge into cash. Millions of members. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash today. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Now, obviously with the Timberwolves taking on the Thunder, I'm going to be hammering the Anthony Edwards more on his points for the rest of the series, coming off a bad game 1. But hey, if you guys want to get $50 instantly in your Prize Picks account, just download the app today, plug in promo code CLNS for $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. But massive shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. Prize Picks, run your game. Amazing question coming in from my guy Z Cool saying, #Vikings. Will Justin Jefferson make the Olympic flag football team? I think he's going to be the captain. I think he's going to be carrying out the American flag, and I'm all in for it. I saw some Vikings fans freaking out, be like, what if Jefferson gets hurt in the Olympics? If he gets hurt, he gets hurt. I think it would be awesome for him to go represent his country, win a gold medal. And you got to think about these guys, like they're competitors, they're athletes, and they're trying to stack up accolades. And if Jefferson could say, I won the first gold medal for flag football, he's going to want to do it. So I think he'll definitely make the team. If I had to go like my dream 3 wide receiver trio for the Olympics, it would be Jefferson and Jamar Chase, easily top 2. I think I'm going to stick with the LSU boys. I think I'll go Malik Neighbors, number 3. He's a burner, great 50-50 catch guy. I would probably go the 3 LSU boys, Neighbors, Jefferson, and Chase. Terry coming in. #Vikings. Does Max Brosmer have a legit chance to make the team? He's got a chance. I don't think it's that likely. I'll probably put it at like 2%. Sam Howell, J.J. McCarthy locks, and I think that third quarterback will be Brett Rippon. He was with the team last year. He understands the offense. I know a lot of us want Max Brosmer to make it just because, Minnesota guy, played for the Golden Gophers the last couple of seasons. So I totally get that, but he'll probably be the practice squad quarterback. He'll get some great reps, though, going against that Brian Flores defense, but probably not this year, maybe next year. Maybe, the Vikings could view him as like the quarterback 2 behind McCarthy for the future. So he'll have a legit chance in preseason to go earn his stripes. I just don't know how likely it is for him to make the final 53-man roster. Cohen B, do you think Sam Darnold will be able to succeed in Seattle with the elite supporting cast that he had in Minnesota? That's the question of the offseason, right? If you're a Seahawks fan. Now, I think Darnold will still be pretty damn successful. I don't know how successful. I think his ceiling is definitely limited, being outside of Kevin O'Connell. He's got Clint Kubiak. I'd rather have Josh McCown than Clint Kubiak, for example. But I think he'll still be successful. I'll put it like this. Last year for Sam Darnold was the best season we will ever see. He will never throw 35 touchdowns again. He'll never win 14 games. He'll never be as impactful as he was with the Minnesota Vikings. So I think he'll be successful. I just don't think he'll be near as successful as he was with the Vikes. Roger Bong, what's going on, Brody? Who would you sign if you had one more signing left for this team? Must be under the cap. Probably go cornerback position. A Rasul Douglas, an Asante Samuel Jr. I'll even throw out there like a Keenan Allen type of signing at the wide receiver 3 spot. I think that would be a solid move. Get that veteran in there. But honestly, I wouldn't make another move if I was the Vikes. Any extra cap you have, let's roll it over in the next season. How about this, Raj? You call up Stephon Gilmore in August. Season's 2 weeks away. Yo, Stephon, you still down to play a couple of games or one more season with us? Okay, that's who you give your extra like $4 million to. So I think I would go corner, Douglas, Asante, or give me Stephon Gilmore. Oh, this is a great question. It's Rolio. If this Vikings draft class doesn't work out, do you think we trash Kwesi? I mean, we 100% would. If it's trash, like Donovan Jackson's unplayable. Ty Felton's terrible. And then like Tieran Ingram Dawkins, Kobe King, Gavin Bartholomew, like those 3 are just not NFL players. Yeah, we would all be trashing Kwesi, but I wouldn't want to fire him if this draft class sucks. I think honestly, what would get Kwesi fired is if Dallas Turner and J.J. McCarthy are bust. Because you spent a lot of draft picks on those 2 last season. You had the trade up for both of them. Those are probably the 2 guys that could get Kwesi fired. But yeah, I don't really think this draft class, like, you had 4 picks, 24, 97, and a couple in the 150s. So it's not like he had a lot to work with. But I mean, if all of those guys don't end up working out, yeah, we'll be saying he's probably the worst drafter in the NFL. And you just can't build a Super Bowl team without building through the draft somewhat. So I do think, though, it more comes down to JJ and Dallas Turner. GR8 V7. What's going on, Brody? Awesome profile picture, by the way. Would you rather have Asante Samuel Jr. or Rasul Douglas or go for a different position? Out of those 2 corners, I'd rather go Asante Samuel. Rasul Douglas was terrible last year. Asante obviously got hurt dealing with a shoulder, neck injury. No real specifics on that, but people are concerned for him. I wouldn't go different position. I would go corner. I think I would just go Asante Samuel. But again, I'm in the camp. Vikings don't need to sign anybody. I would say just kind of stand pat and maybe call a guy like Gilmore in August. But we appreciate all of you guys for watching today's mailbag. And if you guys made it to the end of today's show, hit me with a skull down below in the comments section. Appreciate all of you guys for tuning in today. But also, if you guys got more questions for me, hit me up on Twitter or X, the handle @PatSeeps. See y'all next time. As always, Skol Vikes.